Hey guys, my name is Devin Adams. I'm a Fortinet instructor here at Dynamic Worldwide, and I'm just recording my studying sessions here. I'm about to go take the NSE 7 renewal. I got certified a couple of years ago, but it's time to get it renewed. And yeah, so I thought it might be beneficial to record these for you guys. Here's my rubber duck that I've been talking to get ideas. 40 duck. So it is like 12 hours before I take the exam, and it's way too late at night. But there's still some objectives I want to run through just to brush up and remind myself on. So far, you know, uh, these videos there's tons of them now, I guess, but essentially we've gotten pretty far. I mean, we did the SD-WAN, the MPLS point-to-point, the failover protections, the IPSec tunnels. We connected everything through the security fabric. We have a virtual wire pair doing file inspection for viruses transparently. Um, we did a SSL VPN connection back into here. I mean, we've done a lot. Whack. Um, we even set up a FortiAnalyzer, a FortiManager, but yeah, there's a big but, a big but. There's still more. All right. So one of the objectives for the NSC7 is obviously being able to do some basic OSPF configuration. I say basic because OSPF, is obviously a very popular dynamic routing protocol, and you can have multiple areas, stubby areas, not so stubby areas. And they don't really dive that deep into it per se, but they still want you to understand things like, the backbone area. And they still want you to know, what exactly do you need to do to get to adjacencies to form and things like that. So yeah, our goal in this video, all right, is we are going to push OSPF across all of our devices, including the IPsec tunnel, all right? And that way we don't have to worry about static addresses anymore, because I promise you OSPF does a way better job converging way better job than converging than I do at 1 o'clock in the morning. So and that's another thing too. If you look back on some of my videos, there's a couple of times where things won't work and I'm just like, oh man, I swear I'm gonna have to bust out my debug flow, because that's the tool to see why the traffic's not passing through. It's a kernel flow. It's like a trace route, not trace. See, I can't even talk, guys. It's a way to look into the kernel of the FortiOS, and as packets try to form up like a session, it'll tell you like, it failed because of reverse path forwarding check or because it hit the local in policy. But anyways, a couple of times I tried to get everything working, and yeah, it's because I did forget to tell the FortiGate where that address came from, and because of reverse path forwarding check, because it didn't know a route from the source, it dropped it. All right, then I'm like, oh, I'm a ding dong, and I put it in there and all is good. This is advantage of having a dynamic protocol because it should do it for us. All right, now if I do butcher something, guys, just put something in the comment and be like, hey, Devin, I'm a CCIE and you CC suck. Yeah, you can tell me the best practice here. I'm just gonna try to get it to work. So um, let's do it. Are you guys ready? So let's go ahead and log into our PC here. All right, so here's our headquarters FortiGate, and that's where we're going to begin. Why not? We need to begin somewhere. So here we go. Okay. All right, so here we go. All right, we're gonna go to network. Oh, guys, I'm gonna try not to yawn. I am so sorry. All right, here we go. We have our RIP, OSPF, BGP, multicast. Okay, so we're going to go to OSPF. Now, if you guys do not see these protocols, all right, it just simply means that your FortiGate has them turned off visibility-wise. So just open up your system settings, go to feature visibility, and you should be able to find it underneath dynamic routing. So let's see, what do they call it? Oh, advanced routing. Right there. So don't worry, your FortiGate supports it, and I promise, even baby FortiGates. So all right, here we go. So let's go to OSPF. All right, and let's go ahead and give our router an ID. So we're going to just say 1 here. Now you can, I did just read up on this just like yesterday. It does do the whole, you know, what is it, the highest, lowest IP address, and you can do a loopback for that one. But here I'm just going to define the router ID. All right, and then I'm going to create the backbone area, and we're just going to keep it simple. All right, so here we go. Okay, And then with the networks, these are the networks we're going to define that are in our area. All right, they're also the ones that are going to accept connections with the OSPF protocol. So I'm going to open this bad boy up. All right, I'm going to say quad 0, and of course I got to do the 10, 10, 1, 0, because that's the one that my core is attached to. If we take a look here. All right, so our core network, and then is that it for right now? You know what? Why don't we just stop right there? All right, and let's just take this one step at a time. Okay, so because I'm going to form my first adjacency with the DevOps one. So here I'm going to say DevOps. All right, and the interface is going to be my LAN 6, port 6. Okay, and not too bad. So that interface is now participating in OSPF, but we need to come here and tell it what to advertise out. All right, so I want my connected routes. Okay, I'm going to hit OK, apply. All right, now here's the thing. I was very hesitant about doing static routes or anything like that because the the SD-WAN's doing a lot of the rewriting for us, and honestly, I'm just kind of doing a proof of concept here. I'd do some more research before turning this on because I definitely didn't want to step on the toes of the SD-WAN, but shouldn't be a problem. So let's go into our DevOps. All right, and let's now form that adjacency. So, all right, here we go. So now we are going to go to network, OSPF. All right, we're going to say area 2 because that's one of the criteria. You can't have router IDs that have the same ID. Area 0, regular, good, good. Our networks, all right, so we are going to pop in the quad 0, and then we're also going to do a 10.10.1.0. So those routes are going to be the ones that are recognized as internal. All right, and I'm going to take a step further. Okay, so port 4 is not connected. That's going to be our tester, by the way. So this FortiGate has no idea. Our headquarters FortiGate has no idea about this network down here. Yeah, ports 2 and 3 are glued together, but that's doing a transparent inspection. So I'm going to use port 4 as my test to see if it actually injects the route into here. So sure. So, and that network, by the way, is, are you guys ready? It's going to be 172. That's too high. 172.16. No, it's 30. Oh, those DevOps people. 1/0/24. Okay. All right. And then the interfaces, of course, we have our to the core on interfaces, well, core. All right. We're going to hit OK. And then I still have to configure it, but we're going to say, I don't know, to DevOps. And it's giving me interface 4, which right now has a quad 0 on it. But you know what? We're still going to do it. So, all right. We're going to hit OK. And then here's our advanced. We want our connected. All right. Hit OK. Not too bad. Not too bad. And then let's go ahead and go to our interfaces now. And let's actually attach it to an IP address it can recognize here. And I'll just do something funky like DHCP, right? So I'll just say DevOps. Get it through DHCP. We'll make a pingable. Sure. Why not? All right, good times. So, and if it just takes a moment here, we should get an IP address from the Linux box. So maybe, you know what? No. Oh, duh. I have to connect it, guys. Port 4. That's when I walk down to the data center with my Cat 6 cable. Oh, I'm such a ding dong. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. So now if we just go ahead and maybe do a refresh. All right. we should get an IP address. So, okay. Yay! See the 172.31.101. Nice. All right. So, not too bad. Okay. All right. So, let's go ahead and see if it formed an adjacency. So how do we do that? Well, we go down to monitor. All right. We go down to our routing monitor, and we see if we see OSPF routes. So, oh my gosh, look at that, guys. Oh my word. That is beautiful. Okay. So here you can see, did I put that stack route in there? I must have. Anyways, it's really weird. I don't ever remember doing that. Anyways, there's a static route of our default gateway. But look at this. This is saying, hey, if you want to reach these networks, okay, you just got to go ahead and yeah, pop them out. So that is so weird right there. The gateway. Okay, sure. That works. All right, cool. So guys, yeah, pretty darn neat, huh? So I was expecting it to advertise, so the 10.10.1 network. Oh, it's directly connected. Duh. Of course, I'm not going to get a OSPF on it. Sorry, guys. It is literally way past my bedtime. But let's go over here and let's see if we discovered the networks beyond here. So let's go ahead and go to monitor, and let's go to routing monitor. All right. So if we hit refresh a couple of times, do we know about that? .3. Oh, there we go. So if we're trying to get to the 10.31.0 network, you just need to leave port 6. Isn't that cool, guys? Come on. That's pretty darn cool. So yeah, so there you go. We got it working. OSPF. Okay. Now all this other business has to do with the SD-WAN, so don't be deleting routes. Okay, so that's the last thing you want to do. Let's keep going. You guys want to keep going? Sure, why not? I'm getting kind of punch drunk here, but let's go ahead and finish up our entire topology here. All right, just for giggles. So let's go back to our network. Let's go to OSPF, and now let's do the DC side to the domain controller, not domain controller, the data center. All right. So let's go ahead and add another participant, okay, quad 0. And now it's going to be that point-to-point MPLS connection. So we're going to say 172.16.1/0, and I'll just do a /24 to summarize it, even though technically it's a point-to-point, but whatever. All right. And now we're going to add in also our MPLS connection. Okay, maybe if we decide to get more MPLS connections or something like that. So here we go. All right, we'll say okay. All right, we'll hit apply. And then let's go ahead and go over to our DC, and we can get here from there because of the SD-WAN. So that's why we're using our private IP addresses there. All right, here we are. And if you remember, if we go over to our static routes, we did have to put in a static route. I remember when I was dinking with this. All right, so I told it to, if it needs to find the 10.10.1 network, leave out its gateway or the point-to-point network. All right, so, and I have no idea what IP address that is anyways. But let's hit delete, because that's the whole point of having a dynamic routing protocol. All right, so but now let's go over to our OSPF, and we'll give this one a .3. Okay, not 4, 3. Okay, area 0 as the backbone, single area. All right, and now we're going to say what networks belong in this 0. Well, it's definitely going to be the 0.2024. All right. And then also we'll add in the MPLS network too. So as part of the participants, okay, 172.16.10/24. All right, we'll say okay. And then we'll add the two interfaces. So this one will say MPLS. All right. There we go. And just in case we ever decide to, well, I think that's actually all we need. I think that's all that we need. So said okay. All right, and I'll also say it's connected routes. All right. Can't remember if we actually need to define the interfaces that's on. You know what? It shouldn't hurt anything. So I'll just say DC. Sure, why not? That way, if we ever want to expand beyond our interfaces, I don't know. So, all right, there we go. So in theory, our OSPF should kick in here. All right, so let's go to our routing monitor. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything. Now here's the thing, if nothing does pop up, all right, if nothing happens here, and let's go over to our side over here. All right, so MPLS, okay, good times, all right. We can always check the log files, so, all right, so I only see one. So what happens when they're not connecting? Okay, now here's the thing though. See how we have a static route? All right, in there? That static route does have the shorter distance than the OSPF. So even if there is an adjacency, we might not ever see it, okay? So what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna go ahead and check my log files, and we do have router events, all right? So we'll just look at the last one to see if it found a neighbor. So, okay, it says that it's up, all right? See that? So I found it under port 5, so je ne sais pas, I don't know. Let's go over to our networking. Maybe I had a static route in there, and I forgot to take it out. Because the one with the lowest distance wins. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Boo. Okay, so let's delete it. All right, perfect. Okay. Then we'll just go ahead and go back to our routing monitor. Yay, look at that, guys. So we now have our OSPF 10.10.2, okay? And then also injected the routes that were directly connected but not a part of the area. So those are the external facing routes. So that's why they're considered external. So, all right, guys, there we go. 3 down. Now, can we push it down the VPN tunnel? That's the real mystery. So let's try it out. So let's go to our New York City. All right. Good times. Okay. And let's go over to our networks. And I believe this one's like 100% dependent on the SD-WAN because there's really nothing coming into it. It's just consuming resources. Yeah, see how there's nothing there? So I don't know what good it would do, but we'll do it anyways because we can. All right, so I don't know. So we'll go to OSPF. We'll give it a unique router ID, which this one will be, I can't remember where we're at, 4 or 5. Heck, we'll just do 5. We have so many to pick from. We'll set the quad 0 for our backbone. All right, good times. Okay, then what networks participate in this? Well, obviously it's going to be the ones that are directly connected to it. All right, so, but this is where it gets interesting. So if you guys remember, I put the management VPN connections, right, on a certain subnet. So those are going to be the IP addresses on the end of our VPN tunnels, which are just logical. So yeah, so let's do that. So we'll just say quad 0. And I believe we did a 172.16.2/24. All right. And then here we're going to say VPN, and I'll say 2HQ. There we are. And then I'll say VPN 2DC. All right, there we go. All right. Now, I did not add those as participating routes in the other one, so I don't even know if that's going to work without us touching the other sides, but we'll give it a shot. So, because remember, there really wasn't anything injected in here anyways. So, all right, so just to do my due diligence here, I'm going to go to my OSPF on my DC side and tell it to include these ones here. So, but like I said, that SD-WAN, man, I don't think that's gonna help us out here. So, because remember, it's constantly writing static routes. So, let's go to OSPF, and I'm just gonna add that 172.16.2. All right, 172.16.20/24. Haha, look at that. It's like I'm doing some injection hack. All right, there we go. I don't even know what I'm talking about. And then we have our two physical interfaces, but now I'm going to say VPN to NYC. All right. Okay. And why not? Let's add the other one in there, even though I'm pretty sure it's not going to show up simply because of that SD-WAN. So, but we'll say 2HQ VPN interface 2HQ. All right. Okay. And then here, same thing, same thing, same thing, same thing. Then last but not least, let's do a network. And remember, that's pushing OSPF down IPSec, which is kind of cool. So you just treat it like normal, but you just use the management IP addresses. So here we go, 172. All right. 16.20/24 will belong in the quad 0. All right. And then our two DC VPN to the IPSec tunnel to the DC. All right. I'll hit OK. And then to NYC. All right. NYC. Hit OK. Start spreading the routes. Let's see if it worked. Are you guys ready? So we'll go down to our log and we'll see if it formed any adjacencies. So it found right there. It found a neighbor to NYC. All right, pretty cool. Okay, so not too bad. So in theory, like I said, the SD-WANs can do a lot of funky stuff here. But look what it did here. Now it said, if you want to go to this network, push it down this IP address to New York City. So yeah, it did work, guys. Pretty darn cool if you ask me. So yeah. All right. OSPF, OSPF, OSPF. Here's the DevOps. Look at all these OSPF routes. What? See how it found it? What? Oh, that's so awesome, guys. Did this thing find? Yeah, it did. Look at that. Oh, dude, see? It just knows our routes. So guys, as you saw, we pushed it down OSPF down our interfaces, and we also did it through a IPSec tunnel. All right, look at that. And now I can go back to bed instead of worrying about it all converging on me. Okay, so not too bad, right? So let's take a look here. New York City. And I better prove everything still works, right? Then I'll wrap up the video. In other words, I got to make sure it didn't break anything. Because I was hesitant, yeah. I was hesitant about the SD-WAN. Now you notice how it says nothing here about OSPF, and that's actually fine. We can still verify it, and that's because of the SD-WAN, okay? But we can still verify it by going to our login reports, to our router events, and we should see that OSPF neighbor. All right, right there. See, to headquarters, to DC. It's just the SD-WAN is statically writing it in for us. So, but it's still pretty cool. So let's just, you know, just make sure we can ping everything still from each side. So actually, you know what? I'll just do one easier. 10.10.2.100. All right, there we go. That's our DC from our headquarters side. And let's see here. Here's us in New York. All right, so let's go to, oh, there's our, yep, there's our headquarters resource. Do we still have this too? Yep. And then obviously our DC headquarters. We can still reach our 10.10.1.10. Yeah, so there you guys go. So there you are. That's how we did a single area OSPF down IPSec and also across our interfaces. And that way we don't have to write static routes. And we saw how easily it learned what was beyond that that interface there on our DevOps. All right, so and we testified that it was working, and yeah, guys, so it is now way too late, and I don't know if I'm going to do any more tonight, but I hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, until next time. So bye. If I can find the stop button. All right, here we go.